Everybody, we are doing a early live stream tonight, so I have not got everything set up. But I said 7 o'clock, and it's like 6:58, so it's close enough. I forgot to turn on one of the lights. Oh, here we go. Ding! Awesome. Turn that on. Move this over here. Now this is a lot earlier than normally what I do. Hey, tabletop date night, how you doing? I still gotta get everything set up here. Headache time. Get this out of the way early. Of course, nothing. Come on, zoom. Oh, come on. It's either all or nothing. Sorry. Oh, I swear to God. Oh, I swear to God. Better. Okay, better. All right, so this guy. Oh, that's set all the way back there. It's like a drug trip. Yeah, that's my whole life, baby. Zoom out a hair, please. Just a hair. That's the opposite. Why you do this? Me and my professionalism on full display. Okay, that's that's what we're going for. So tonight we're going to be painting up some Ratmen clans that the guy from the last month's painting, what do I call it now? The hobby discourse, hobby, the Discord work in production challenge. That's what it is. He selected Ratmen clans, and he said he wanted them with shotguns. The thing was, I could not find any Ratmen with shotguns. So I had to get these. These are from Station Forge, and so I ordered these so they'd be legit. But then I also bought the files so that I could kit bash in shotguns. So they've just been dry brushed. So first off, we just got stuff off the printer. It's time for some 3D printing ASMR. Yeah. And then 80 25 millimeter bases. Those are all for my Kingdom of Angels army coming up. And some of the parts here. Do. Nope, don't drop it. There we go. All right. Hi, Scott. All right. God, just please, just a hair. Just a hair. Of course not. You think there'd be like a thing that I could use to tweak? There we go. Oh, okay. I'm gonna stop touching it. There we go. How much resin do they all take? Well, I got the Mars 2 Pro and I filled up the vat, so I'd say from the max fill line, it took about only a third of the max fill. So, man, I never keep track of that kind of stuff, how much I actually put in there. Not much. Not much at all, because I make the bases 2 millimeters thick. It is the orc fingers. That is the problem. So these guys here, I'm going to be doing some flesh tones on the flesh and the tail. Well, I mean, on the hands and the tail. And the feet, it looks like there's not much fur on these guys. At least not on this one in particular. There's a few. No, not you either. Or you. Where's the guy with the crazy whiskers? Well, this one you can see some of his face. And I did notice his shotgun's extra big, so this is going to be the sergeant of the squad. But yes, tonight we're doing Ratmen. Okay, let's go ahead and start with it. Let's do the flesh tones first, just because we know they're going to be flesh tones. So let's do. Oh, I'm still. This is the first painting I've done since Adepticon, so everything is all over the place. I'll need that later. Stand by. What color should we do the armor plates? Well, the armor plates and the great coats. Because everyone knows I like my browns, but now that I've been called out on it, I'm like, I gotta do less brown. These are, let's see, Station Forge is where I got these from. And the shotguns, I ended up, I bought the models and then I also bought the files because I 3D kit bashed in the shotguns. Normally they're carrying, like, let's get that out of the way. Normally they're carrying like a last gun equivalent. So. Okay. Crusade, no, where's the peachy flesh? I swear I just had it in my hand. Warrior skin. Sorry. This is one day I'll be organized, but that day is not today. Really, where are you? Okay, whatever. You're gonna be Crusader skin. Yes, I got called out on my browns, so no more. Okay, gray coats. That sounds good. I've been called out on my browns, so now I'm actively thinking of not doing brown. Sorry, I'm very beige. So let's start off with the skin. We're gonna drip some Crusader skin here. There we go. As I flip that completely over, we're gonna put a little water in. All right. Oh my god, my paintbrushes. Sorry, everybody. This is just me. Oh, it was such a panic to get everything painted before Adepticon that I have just absolutely. Oh. Okay, got the brushes. We're going to start with this one. Hey, Drainaholic, how you doing tonight? It was good seeing you at Adepticon. Okay, how are we doing for an angle here? Let's go an angle like this. God, I got this thing so tight. Take that off the edge. Okay. And then, of course, it is a lot earlier than I normally do it, so everyone in the house is still awake. So you're going to hear some background talking and maybe a television. So let's start here. Where am I set? Okay, that's where I'm set. So, boop, 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 boop. Oh, they're up there discussing the cats fighting with each other. Because, of course, whenever everyone goes to bed, it's just a big old territorial fight downstairs. All right. Speaking of cats, I got big old hairs on everything. Normally you could. Normally this is more polished, but like I said, we're starting extra early today, so everything is kind of up in the air. We're starting early today because I have to go tomorrow. I got to get up at 5:30 in the morning to head to Indiana to get my gas pipeline certification. because even though I've been working on natural gas lines for 10 years now, this company demands I get certified in it. So, yay. I feel like there's not much Crusader skin going on here. Any skin poking through? Nope. Okay. So how's everybody doing tonight? Let me make sure that everything's set right here. Yeah, we are doing Space Rats tonight. Doing Space Rats tonight. This is what the February person won. Okay. So I was rewatching your Plague Demon video. You mentioned bull deployment. What did I don't oh, null deployment. Null. Null deployment is whenever you come to the battlefield and on turn 1 you have nothing on the board. So in that case, null or zero deployment, which is not anything you could do with the demons now, because they make you deploy half of your army. Only half of your army can ambush, but the other half can also scout. So technically you can still kind of pull off some null deployment, where you set half in ambush and half in scout, and then after the enemy's deployed, that's where you put that's where you can put your scouts down. So technically you can still pull it off. That just allows you to see everywhere that your enemy is deploying, so that you can do some hood rat stuff on them. You can put what you want. You can pretty much line up stuff across from them that is going to counter whatever they put on the board. But in Plague Demons, everything, like, there's no real, like, I don't want to, because there are different units, but there's no real, like, hard different units, because they don't have, like, armor, and they don't have just absolute throwaway units. So, like, if the enemy put something big and beefy that has lots of AP on the board, you would be able to put, like, defense 6 stuff in front of them that would just, congratulations, you're about AP 4. It's not going to be any good. That's an old that's an old 40K trick. That you guys ever see the meme where it was the White Scars versus the Kroot, where the White Scars took everything off, left everything off the board because it was going to outflank, so the Kroot lined up on the back of the board, meaning that the White Scars couldn't even come on the board. Yeah, that's a null deployment. But since we don't have the reinforcements coming from the rear, there's no auto lose. Way back in the early days of 40K, whenever the enemy had a BS tactic, there was always a counter to it. You just had to find it. So yeah. Oop. Where are my tweezers? Oh, there they are. Good enough. Strider versus flying. What's the difference? Strider, you ignore difficult terrain, but with flying, you also ignore difficult terrain, and you can jump over top of the enemy and charge something behind them, or you can ignore vertical distances when you're flying as well. Well, yeah, flyers can also move over top of solid buildings, and Strider cannot. Yeah, that's true too. Ooh. Tell you what, I had. Let's get into it. I had one heck of a weekend at Adepticon. I'm sure you guys already saw my recap video of Adepticon. It was a great time had by all. And one correction, I did get corrected by Steve that it wasn't his first game. He had been playing for years, so it wasn't it wasn't beginner's luck on that one. It was his opponent in the first game that had never played. So I just remember me answering questions and then all the other judges over there answering questions as well. And I think Steve might be a ranger as well now that I think about it because his first game took a while, but it was not Steve's fault. He knew what he was doing. Do, 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 do. Trying to drone out the TV in the background. Yeah. The one thing I'll tell you a little embarrassing thing that happened to me at Adepticon. Remember how I said that I wanted to get the John Blanche paints and that I couldn't find them anywhere, and you said I can get them at Adepticon. Well, I could have got them at Adepticon, but there was a problem. I was having such my brain was so scattered on the Saturday when I went up there to buy them. I walked over to the Army Painter stuff, and I completely blanked on John Blanche's name. I walked up to their booth. I was like, "Oh, I want to get the GW Painter guys paint." And bless his heart, the guy that was running the counter, he kind of tilted his head. Yeah, these are station forged, just with a little bit of bashing to give them shotguns. He kind of tilted his head and he was like, "Oh, Duncan and Peachy, they're over on the other side." And I was just for some reason, my brain just could not remember John Blanche's name at that exact moment. And I stood there for a minute and I was like, finally, I'm like, all right, fine. And I just walked away. I was like, I got stuff to do. This was supposed to take 3 minutes. So I am still on a quest to get the Blanche paints. Let's see. So, what are you guys working on out there tonight? I know it's early, but I can't be the only one painting tonight. So there's no furnace tonight. Well, no furnace yet, but y'all get to hear the dogs and cats and everyone up there yelling at each other. Loading up the printer for the last unit I need for my AOS. Then I paint while that's printing. Awesome. And then messing with printers. Yes, yes. Building Space Marines convert to Plague Disciples. Always good. Always good. Okay. So we say gray coats. What about the armor? Do I just do the armor? Oh, more Ratmen for fantasy. Awesome. Do I just do the armor color? Just. Ugh. Okay, that I'll have to go over his Crusader skin again, or he can just be really pale. So the armor color, the few pieces of armor I have. I can wait on that. Let's go ahead and do the great coats. Get that out of the way. No brown. Stay back there, brown. I love you, but not tonight. Silver, enchanted steel, cloud for burst blue, runic gray. No, let's not do runic gray. Okay, runic gray armor. We could do that. Let's say I'll put that over there. Where is the gravel lord gray? Like I said, if you're just tuning in, I kind of scattered everything. Pallid bone cloak. No, we're not going to do pallid bone. Not yet. Gravelord Gray. Okay. Then we're going to give that 3 drops. A little mixy. Okay. Yeah, isn't there a rat unit called the Gray something? Too. Okay, it's a little light, but that'll darken up as it dries. Okay. What is that? What is that? Whatever. Yeah, these first ones, I gotta go back over that skin again. It just did not take. Yes, I'm trying to avoid brown, and pallid bone is a version of brown. So there's that. There's going to be plenty of brown in it when I do the leathers and stuff. So there'll be some pallid bone in here somewhere. It's just dark, but it's just a khaki, right? Okay. Anyways, this guy's got a full armor plate on. That's cool. Evening. Good evening. Yes, I'll tell you what. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on with OPR in the future with conventions, and I don't know what I'm allowed to tell you yet. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be fun. Hmm. Like I said in the video, I stopped going to conventions like 10 years ago, just because I had to stop and do some grown up shit, and it was just time for me to step back for a minute. Miss some here. Let's see here. They're any nearby me, and my wife isn't minutes from giving birth again. I'll be attending. Yeah, that's a good reason to miss a convention. I'm excited for conventions. I'm trying to help my local group run demo games. Always good. Have they said what cons they'll be at? Not yet. It was kind of up in the air right now. I know they're going to be at more. Which one specifically? I don't know. I don't know. Or at least they didn't tell me yet. But if any of you guys are watching out there, let me know. As long as I don't have to as long as I don't have to take a week off of work, or as long as I don't have to, I don't know, as long as it's not crazy, I will try to be there. Because, like, all the enthusiasm back in the day I used to have for 40K, I was nuts. I would go all across the country to play, go into the big tournament circuits. Never did good. I think the closest I ever got to the top was like 35th. But, man, I went to a lot of them. I think that's part of the reason why I quit altogether. I was like, well, I can't choose which ones to go to. I can't just go to like one a year. Doing some gray. Do do do. Tell you one thing that I learned at Adepticon, just from all the people I met, all the different YouTubers and stuff. Like there were some big YouTubers that I had never heard before that were in the hobby space. Like like Gaming Geek, real nice guy, great guy, made cool stuff. But I had never even seen his channel, never knew it was a thing. And there was like 4 or 5 others I talked to. So it just showed that gaming YouTube is just really siloed. These are Station Forge. I think they're scavengers, but Station Forge Ratmens that I have bashed to put shotguns in their hands. Um, no, I don't think so. I don't think I flipped the axis. It was just some of them just that's the way they were. No, I didn't flip the axis on them because I just all I did was remove the gun that was there and put a shotgun in. And this is not all the different arm variations. Some of them it was just when I cut out the gun, there was just too much like slop left over that I couldn't cover with the rest of the shotgun. All right. Oh, I'm putting them too far back. Pull them forward a little bit. Down his face. All right, next we said runic gray for the armor, so we could do that. Well, we'll do something else just so we don't touch the gray, the gravel lord gray, because it might not be 100% dry yet. So let's do. Oh, red armor. Red armor would really pop. See how indecisive I am on stuff. While we're waiting for the gray to mellow out, let's go ahead and I'm gonna do some browns. I'm gonna do the backpacks. Call it out now. We're gonna do the satchel brown for the backpacks. Yeah, backpacks, pouches, anything like that. We're gonna go ahead and nail them right now. Now we're gonna do these straps too. Okay, any other random? Is that leather? We're gonna say part of it is. We're gonna say part of it is. All right. Okay, nothing else there. Yeah, brass metal too. Okay. We could do some brass. That's definitely a leather right there. Okay, backpack. Any other pouches? Nope. Backpack time. That's the speaker of some. Oh, I think this body was supposed to be a flamethrower because it's got the tank on there. So you hear the horror movie in the background or whatever it is they're watching up there. Okay, this guy. Got this little piece hanging down. And this little piece hanging down. Okay. Okay. I got this guy. He's got a bunch of random stuff on him, so we'll do the pouch. We'll do this belt. And those are potato mashers. So I'll just do the strap for the potato mashers and then the rest of the bag. And that little spot. All right. Okay, not much on that guy. Okay. You hear me hacking and coughing in the background here. Oh yeah, that's all leather. Okay. All right, guys. So what else are we going to talk about tonight? I feel like there's an awful lot of dead air in here. Yeah, still decompressing. Tell you what, these last few days back to work, man, it's like everybody saved their problems for me. Okay, let's. Oh, I missed a couple here. Still decompressing. I have a question. I paint more traditionally, and I'm pretty pumped about the Patreon release tomorrow, though. We're nerding out to our master painter. Want to get my Muley Kids painting. I was thinking speed paints would be better. Well, speed paints, as you can see here, speed paints definitely make the job faster. Um, and as long as you do the undercoat, like you can dry brush like I do, or even a zenithal highlight, speed painting's not going to cover all that up. Because back in the day, we used the zenithal highlight and have to water down paints to nearly nothing, and then three, four, five coats of paint to get it back to what you want it to be. But speed paints do that all for you. So it is definitely faster. Um, there is, I mean, there's different levels to it. Like you could do speed paint for a base coat, and then you could take it from there. You could do some like normal acrylic on top of the speed paints as like a highlight, or washes to take it down. That's why people ask me why do I prime in gray, because with gray you can go up and down, where if you prime in black you can only go up. You can go up in values. Like you can, like you can't shade black. Oh, thank you, thank you. Okay, I've tried speed paints, but they look a little bit washed out. Yeah, I mean you could do that. Um, like I said, you got to do a little bit afterwards, like a couple washes, or do the undercoating on them, do the under highlights. I just stuck the end of my brush right in the paint off there. So it's just like any other painting. You gotta find a way to make it work for you. Even though I just sung even though I just sung its praises, if you don't like speed paints, don't use speed paints. That's one thing about the hobby is there's no right answer. So I got block paint areas in solid paint, then heavy white dry brush and speed paint over that. It came out better than you'd think. Yeah, I can see that. That's all the people putting in their stuff for the April contest. Finally got around to slicing up the rest of the walkers from my HDF list. The combat walkers are some chunky boys. Yes, they are. But man, they are. Look at their stats. They are scary. They are definitely scary. That's one of those. That's one of those units that I would call, a missile unit. You just run it towards the enemy. It's gonna either wreck face, or it's gonna take so much pressure off the rest of your army on turn 1 and 2 that the rest of your army is going to go up there and wreck face. Oh, that's the. I painted the phone. It's okay. I'll fix that. There's no right way to hobby, but space wolves are always wrong. Don't let the space wolves hear you say that. Tell you what, there's two kinds of space wolves. There's the ones that are in on the joke, and the ones that are not. That's about it. The ones that are like space Vikings, hell yeah, and the other ones that are like noble Nordic heritage, blah blah blah. These minis are from Station Forge, and then I put the shotguns in their hands myself because they come with some really, honestly, some really cool looking las guns. But he hath requested shotguns, so I shall deliver. Oh, what am I doing? You go there first. All right, we are coming along. Okay, new paper towel time. I'm getting messy over here. Now we can go in and do some of that red armor you were just talking about. Because you know red works. Ow. Yeah, extra early start tonight because tomorrow I get to uh, uh, go become a certified pipeline operator. So I got to be there at 5:30 in the morning. Yay. Okay. And it's not something cool like oil pipelines. No, it's natural gas. Oh, there you go. I feel for you. Years and years ago, in a previous life, I was a meter reader for Florida Power and Light. And routinely, be 15-mile days. So I feel you on that one. It's not that kind of pipeline. All the boomers, um, it was yeah, it was a thunderstorm rolled through. There were some tornadoes around us, but nothing close. And I grew up in down in Fort Myers, the lightning capital of America. So I don't know. To me, I love lightning storms. It just puts me right to sleep. But everyone else here was up. I cut a lot of the parts out where the dogs, like the little one, literally jumped on me, and I was like, "What the hell?" Yeah, I definitely like when I was doing the meter reading. I definitely lost a lot of weight, but then I was like, "So I could eat a whole pizza and not gain any weight?" Yeah. Once I got laid off from that job, I made the mistake. I kept eating the whole pizza. Yeah. Tell you what though, it was I was making like 13 bucks at the time, and that was at the time the most money I'd ever made. So man, I thought that job was sweet. And then they decided to do automated meters. So they got an office of 45 of us. I think they kept two. So it is what it is. And I didn't get to stay because I wasn't perfect on my meter reading. I think we needed to keep a 99.997% accuracy. I think I was at like 99.993% accuracy. Used to do that when I worked in corrections. Yeah, I'll take care of Fitz is the best speed painter on it. Okay. That's why we watch. Well, thank you guys for watching. This one's gonna be a little bit more interesting. You hear Evan up there just yammering on his tablet. So now that the weather's getting warmer, you could be out there for more videos. He got sick over the winter, and mommy put a kibosh on him being out there with us when it was like 15 degrees. Yeah, Shadow Stalkers is a fun one. Bright or dark works with them. You could do like dark skin, but like I'm gonna do the whole thing copper. Dark skin, but like light colored robes and torn cloth, or you could do the opposite. You could do like a white skin with like dark purple robes. Like I did mine all purple, and I think I did light colored clothing with a lot of bone in the big guy. I forgot what his name is, but it's the big guy with like the big bone like V on his back. I did that all bone, and it came out pretty darn good. I'll have to say that those did come out good. I actually took those with me to Adepticon because I was like, maybe I'll play a fantasy game. No, never got to. I only got to play one game at Adepticon, and that's where I busted out both of the Trench Crusade armies I made in OPR. And then I played them with Bum from Gaming Geek, and he liked them. As far as I could tell, he liked them. But he could also see that I like making armies with lots of models that are mostly crap. He's like, oh, all my guys are 5+ to hit. I'm like, yeah, yeah, sorry. There's cooler things, but I didn't bring them in the list. And there's lots of fun stuff in there, especially with the Black Grail ones that I just did. So I'm gonna record a battle report between those two this weekend, and then it'll be up. I think I'll put that one up on Wednesday. Yeah, hopefully we can throw some dice. That's it. Blind Behemoth. That's the guy I was thinking of. I still haven't looked up those vampiric halflings yet because I know as soon as I do, I'm going to make them. All right. What we are going to do next, now we're going to do some pallid bone. Here it is. Just got to find, right there. It was staring right at me. And that red likes to hang around the pallet, so we're going to switch out our pallets here. Ooh, God, you can tell how much I use this. And we're going to do an above and below on this one. We're going to do their pants in this color, and we're also going to do the bedroll in this color. See you around. Have fun hunting. Have fun hunting the monsters. All right. That looks like a really hard transition up there, but we're gonna when these do get a wash, that'll even out. That's not a bedroll. That's a tank. Tank of something. Two boxes of AOS. Oh, what you get? I know there was a big, like everyone made it a big deal. They were giving away the Skaven Tide box at Adepticon for free. That was part of the premium badge. I forgot what that's called. Yeah, you got a Skaven Tide box, and you got an awful lot of terrain too. They were. I remember the night I went back to get my badge. There were people walking out with just armloads of stuff. When I painted the plague demons, I don't remember if there is or not. I think that might have been before I started doing painting streams, because those are the first demons I did for OPR was the plague demons. But it will definitely they're going to come up again, and of course I can't just reuse the same stuff, so they will definitely have a painting video. I think I've taken all the stuff that I did in the beginning, because in the beginning I was just doing it for a members only thing, but then there'd only be like 3 people that watched it, so I just went public with the painting streams. I think that army was an awful lot of camo green. Maybe camo green mixed with stuff. Maybe I don't really. I don't remember. That was 45 armies ago. I didn't paint that guy's tail. Damn it. All right, so I'm going back in with these guys anyways on the skin. That's okay. I hear the wife up there going, "Shh, he's live. Don't say anything stupid." That's all right. I can say dumb things all on my own. When I talk about them in terms of armies, I might have a problem. No, I don't have a problem. I need a bigger printer. That's my problem. There's nights when I have nothing to paint. All the armies come alive, and my garage would just explode immediately. Remember how I said a couple weeks ago that I was going to give away the orc army? I was like, if I got a kid sitting at the demo table, it's going to happen. Well, the first group had a kid who was like, I don't know, maybe 12, 11, 12. Um, what do you generally use for terrain? I don't know. Generally, I build terrain, but I've been doing some 3D printing of terrain. But like right now, right next to me, you know those like egg crate things you get, whenever you buy something like this came out of a ceiling fan. Ta-da! So I got a whole bunch of rock formations I'm working on at the moment because I took that and broke it down because I had to get a new ceiling fan for the son's bedroom because somehow it broke. Somehow it broke. Is a garage a safe place to set up? What should I look out for? Honestly, the only thing you need to worry about in a garage, as long as the garage has like a window or like some way to vent, even just like roof vents on it, should be fine. But the only thing you got to worry about inside a garage is temperature. Resin does not like the cold, and if you try to print in the cold, you're just going to end up with crap. All right, I think we'll go and do some brass. We're going to do some brass, and the way we're going to do that is their brass color. Where is it at? All right, here we go. Here we go searching for paints again. Do dark wood. I'm going to be using that in a minute on the shotguns. There we go. We'll say brazen copper. Now with this, even though you can shake the crap out of it, and you can break up all the metallic pigment at the bottom, it's not going to be that metallic-y. So what I do for that is I start off with a little bit of Vallejo metallic here, silver, and I do just boop, just drop. So what that's going to do is going to take all of this brass, copper. It's going to end up looking like brass when I do this. And I take all of the brass color pigment. God, you got to shake that crap out of this one. Then add that to it. So now, I angled this when I moved the camera. So now we're going to take, again, just a touch of water like I always do. You see how that brass there, you don't see any metallic stuff in it. Just gonna mix it up. There we go. We got a nice metallic, brown metallic look there. And that you pretty much got to do all with all the colors, except for the golds and the silvers. You got to add a little bit of metallic to it because it just isn't. There's just not enough in there. And for this, we're going to switch out to tiny brush. Because where I use that metallic, there's going to be no give on this. There we go. There's just going to be little bits of it around. Little bits of it. We'll say these are going to be this color. Those are going to be black, and the gun's going to be mostly black. Okay, we're almost there on these. This guy. And that's another thing too, is that when you do this, it doesn't really sink in like a speed paint normally does. So now you definitely got to wash this just a bit. Like you do get a little bit of it going down to the creases, but it's not great. Oh yeah, I missed half that story. So yeah, the first demo group I had, there was a kid that was like 11, 12 years old. He might have been older. I don't know. I'm bad at judging ages and kids. But I was thinking, okay, it's a kid. This would be perfect. But it's also the first group. Oh no. So I was like, forget it. So I walked over to him after his demo was over, after him and his dad were kind of packing up. And I was like, hey kid, yeah? How do you feel about orcs? He was like, they're okay, I guess. I'm like, ugh. Oh, you're killing me. I was like, all right. Would you say orcs is the best? And at that point, I think you could tell a little light bulb went off. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, orcs are the best. I was like, okay, hey, I think you dropped something over here. And I came over with the box. I just set it down on the table in front of him. I was like, here you go. Yeah, I saw you drop this over there, I swear. And he was like, okay. He just picked it up and walked away with it. I was like, well, that was anticlimactic, but well, whatever. Cool. And then, like I said, that was the first day. And then I think it was 2 days later, and Saturday, when I was up working the booth, I just randomly saw them walk past in the vendor hall, and and then they saw me, and the kid looked at me, and went, "Wah!" I was like, "That's perfect." All the other OPR guys looked at me that were there. Was like, "What was that about?" I'm like, don't worry about it. So that was fun. I converted the kid to orcism. There's some other cool things that happen. Like, I never see myself as a professional. I'm just farting around on the internet here. And one of the guys who helped organize the tournament, he wanted me to sign his carrying case that he carried his Titan around in. And I was like, okay. So I signed it, and it looked real sloppy. And he goes, okay, doctor. And I'm like, sorry. I completely went overboard with it. It's the first time anyone's ever asked me to sign anything. I was excited. Yeah. So that goes there. Okay, he's good. That's enough for him. Go on to the next one. Yeah, we're gonna run a little late on these tonight, more than an hour, but yeah, it's okay. That's okay. I don't gotta. I could at least get like 6 hours of sleep, which is normal for me. Exactly. I get 8 hours of sleep a week eventually. I'm stealing the wife's van tomorrow. It's already gassed up. It's already got monsters in the front seat waiting for me. It's good to go. I had a guy jump over the table with his selfie. Yeah, yeah. I swear it feels weird. I'm like, listen, I'm just a dude. Then I'm not going to name names, but I did meet some YouTubers this weekend or at Adepticon where it was they are full on. They are full on. I'm better than you, and I was like, okay, buddy. Okay, calm down. We play with toy soldiers. Tell you the one that I had the most, the ones that I had the most interaction with was the mini wargaming guys because their booth was right across from ours. So I had to talk with them, talk with their whole team. And then when I was running demos, Scary came down there, and I was like, "Excuse me, sir, would you like to know how to play for OPR?" And he just started laughing. He's like, "Oh, I think I've done it a time or two." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And he was like, "You should come to Canada and play with us on our channel." I'm like, "Okay." Next time I'm in Ontario, I'll swing by. It's not exactly a place I go all the time, Scary. But if I ever am, or if somehow this turns into a thing where I can like justify to myself going, which we are a long way from, I'll go see them at Mini Wargaming. No, we're not going to play that. Like I said, I'm not going to name names, but there were some that were just. I've been watching a lot of other YouTube Adepticon recaps. And some of the big ones that were like all up in the vendor hall, I was like, next year, come down to the pit. Come downstairs where all the games are happening. Is that an armor plate? I think that is an armor plate in the back of his head. And I missed the creator thing where they had the meet and greet at the beginning because I didn't know how to get in to that. I didn't know if I needed a special badge, and at that point, I'd already pushed my luck with the badge I had, getting in places I probably shouldn't have been. So I was like, I don't want to get kicked out of Adepticon on the first day. Just wouldn't be a good look. I've been kicked out of cons before, but never Adepticon. All right, that's it for the copper. Now we're gonna go in with some black for the guns and the tubing. Maybe some other stuff. We'll see. But before I do the black and the guns. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Halfway through, you see a layer shift after. Oh, it's terrible. Crap off of there. Hey. Speaking of, there's the dog that jumped in my lap last night in the thunderstorm. I want to get these to look like the World War One trench sweeper shotguns. So that wooden piece, and I think the rest of it was black. The rest of it was like a darker gunmetal, so black will work. Wait, I forgot. I'm not using my thing. Get back here, thing. There we go. Yeah, another thing that was cool is a lot of people came up and talked to me that were like, "Yeah, we watch you all the time." I'm like, "But really?" Yeah, see, this guy's hand got a little. The detail got lost in the front of his hand. I think that was because there was a part of the gun that was over top of it, and when I blocked it out, it took his fingertips. But we'll see. It's just a trench injury or something. Trench hand. Oh, I missed that reporting in. I saw half of that message. Robert Galliot, yes, reporting in. Thank you. Yes, these are some rats. These are Station Forge rats that I'm doing up for February's winter. So once this paint job's done, all the washes are done. They're going to go in the mail to their new owner. There we go. I mixed a whole lot of paint for that, but whatever. I need to make a trip down to the hobby shop anyways one of these days. Pick some more stuff up. Now, black, where's... Oh, it's right there. Staring at me. So nice. Oh, speaking of trenches, I stopped by the Trench Crusade booth just for a few minutes. I got some pictures of the display they had, and I like the like I like the idea. I like the art. All power outages suck. That's what I was afraid of most with the lightning storm last night. I was like, oh, I got prints on the printer. Don't let the power go out. But okay, back to it. Yeah, I went to the Trench Crusade booth, looked around. They had some like cool looking stuff in there. They had. I almost bought a print. I almost bought a print, but it kind of solidified to me. Like, while I like the idea of the Trench Crusade game, I like the lore. Well, I haven't gotten deep in the lore, but I like the Trench Crusade aesthetic. We'll say that. I looked at their display and I found a lack of models. Like they had this big like centerpiece display thing in the middle. It was really cool looking, and the more I looked around, I was like, where are the models at? I mean, they were in there, but there was like five total on the thing. So, like I was saying, while I like the idea of Trench Crusade and I like the aesthetic of Trench Crusade, I really wish it wasn't a skirmish game. And so that's why I made the list for OPR, which are definitely full size armies. And when I do the video this coming week with the Trench Crusade armies I made, um, you'll see a lot of their stuff. This is hard to put into words. A lot of their stuff, I like the idea, but I don't like the models they used. I don't like the models they came out with for those particular ones. That's pretty awesome. Princess they pick up station four scavengers. I don't have any AdMech. Yes, the scavengers are really cool. I think I printed those for something. I don't remember. Oh, my Rat Guild video or Ratmen clan video. I used the Station Forge AdMech type. That's right. But so a lot of the stuff I used was from Beastarium minis because whenever I think of weird and effed up models, Beastarium is where I go. He's like, I check his page first. Like, what'd you come out with this month? Ooh, that's ugly looking. I love it. And so the Black Grail army I made, I think I used 90% Beastarium. There might be a few. Let me think about it. No, I used all Beastarium models for that army. They didn't all come from a single like set of his. They're across multiple sets, but I think they look great all together. And so I'll go through the army and I'll go through my justification on it. That video might end up being like 2 hours long. We will see. We will see because I have demo games set up. I may have screwed up on my demo games for OPR because I put them down for every Saturday this month, and every other Saturday I go on call. So I'm gonna go try. I'm gonna see if I can get away with it. But if I get a call, I gotta go. We'll see what happens. Now I like that concept, a full grayscale army for a night fight. That is a really cool concept. The only thing I could think though is if like you put that on a board next to a painted army, it kind of like if you're going to an event or something, it kind of loses some of the effect there. But I mean, if you think it's cool, it's always cool. Oh, another thing I got to check out while I was there, I looked at the BattleTech stuff because I used to play BattleTech back the day. I just don't have anyone to play it with now because no one I play with knows BattleTech, and meh, not really in the mood to teach that. But I went over looked at BattleTech stuff. I swear I thought that BattleTech Gothic was an April Fool's joke, and I don't know if it's still not because I went and I looked at them and like having abominations like having kaiju's in BattleTech. It's okay. I can see that. It'd be a new setting. it's a chance for Catalyst to like put out new stuff for them, stuff that's never been done before. And yeah, BattleTech Gothic. Yeah, just think about that for a second. It's imagine. I want to say imagine putting BattleTech in the 40K universe, but it's something. It's they're going to have. God, I don't even explain this. It's going to have abominations, which are going to be mech sized like creatures that you can fight, but also is going to incorporate gothicness into the mechs themselves. And it's just part swaps for mechs to make them look more. I don't make them look more 40K. Is honestly the only way I can put it. And some of those parts really look goofy. Now, some people might love it. I am not one of those people. Oh, front of the gun. Front of the gun. Yeah, it's Monsteropolis, except with Battletech stuff. Now, like I said, if you just had the kaiju's in there, I think it'd be a cool addition to Battletech. But where you got to have where they're doing all the different add-ons for the mechs, I swear to God, that Atlas, the Atlas they keep showing off, it just looks dumb to me. I don't know. Battletech always had its own kind of 80s aesthetic, even with the update when they did the Mech Warrior Online and the Mech Warrior 5. A lot of those, I like the updates, made it look more like industrial, made it look more believable, but it's what they're doing with Battletech Gothic. I'm like, no, just no, guys. Just what are you doing? But I do wish Catalyst all the prosperity in the world. I just know if I go play Battletech Gothic, if I ever do, I'm going to be using the same old mechs I always do. Yeah, Star Trek reboots. All right. Now we're going to be doing a little bit of metal. And we're almost done. Almost done. Okay, let's a little bit of metal, and then I gotta go back in and do the skin on some of them. And the guy who said that speed paint stuff looks kind of flat, I mean, he's right. This does look a little washed out and flat. That's why I do the oil washes on them at the end, because it really makes them, it really brings the colors out in it. So we're gonna put here, we're broadsword silver. I'm already seeing things I missed with the black. Blah. Boo. It's alright though. It's alright though. We can fix that. We can do a little bit of metal on there. Maybe metal with the wash might work. So we're just gonna go bloop. Now the broadsword silver from Speed Paint. Now this stuff is metallic incarnate. This stuff straight up looks like bolt gun metal. And I like it. Oh, I missed that. What do you use to finish? I've heard mixed results from doing varnishing. Well, I do a gloss finish on them first, and then after that I do an oil wash, which I did a video last week on how to do oil washes. So these guys are going to get a brown black oil wash, and then after that they get a matte coat finish. Because with the gloss varnish, the gloss finish, and then the oil wash over it, they come out shiny. And okay, this guy does not have any metal. I will say bloop, that's metal. And I mean, sometimes you go for shiny, but most of the time not. I don't even know what those parts are, but they're going to be metal. There we go. Oh, furnace going to turn on. Yeah, I did a few videos last week of getting learned with the boss, where I did a few how-to hobby videos, and there'll be more of those in the future. Just whenever I get inspired to do them, because it's not like I don't have a plan on showing everything off. But some people are like, "How do you do that?" And enough people say that I'll do a video on it. Because, like I told people in those videos, there's some things that I've been doing for so long that I forgot that some people don't know how it works. Okay, there's not much metal thing here. We'll say it's a metal grenade. Skipping that intentionally this whole time. There we go. We're going to go back over the radio here. And there's eyes. His eye. Okay. This guy doesn't got nothing. Awesome. And this guy. We'll do his little caps. All right, now we're gonna go back in and do some skin. Bear with me. And another thing too with the speed paints, if you wipe out your palettes like I do here, just using these bases, wipe it out and then set it aside for a while, because that the silver flake will get into everything for a little bit at least. All right, back to the Crusader skin, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do full horsepower on this. Because some of it really washed out. Really not as thick as I wanted it to be. There we go, much better. And the tail. God, I forgot the tail of the first one. Back to the first one, tail. There we go. And the foot. And the foot. Right. So how's everyone doing out there? We're in the home stretch now. Okay. Ooh, I missed some stuff here. Printer question: what to print? I want to print the jackals on their bases to avoid breaking legs. What do you suggest? Don't print them on their bases. It turns into a support nightmare. I don't know if it's your speed, but I hear War Machine just hit my mini factory. I'm excited about that. Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, my history with War Machine was this how it went. We had some guys in the local area when they came out that were press gangers. That's what they were, right? The like their outrider or ranger version, and they were really pushing War Machine. I thought, okay, cool, fine, I'll try it out. So I borrowed an army, and I played one game with against the press ganger, and he beat the ever loving snot out of me. All gas, no brakes, and at that point, I was like, okay, War Machine's not for me. I never played it again. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It honestly, he probably saved me a couple $1,000, but yeah, I never got into it. And the War Machine just never really got that big in my area. So I honestly, I didn't really miss much. But I used a couple of the models and other things. Like I used some of the Crix models. I think I used them in a Dark Eldar army as like something to do with the beasts. I used the short little ones that had like the skull heads just because I was like, these look cool. I'm going to use these. And I got a unit of the Hordes army. I got a unit that had gators in it just because I thought they looked really cool. So I bought a unit of those and painted those up. And then I think I sold those because I'm never going to use these. Picked up the Humble RPGs by playing using print. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good way to do it. See, I missed War Machine so hard. I had no idea there were even RPG books. Yeah, it was War Machine 1.0. I even called the guy out, and I was like, because I was doing demo games for 40K at the time. I'm like, that's no way to demo a game. And then he showed me like, what was it, page one? Play like you got a pair. I'm like, fine, whatever. I don't care. Goodbye. Yeah, that was. I don't know. That was a weird time. Just in wargaming in general, at least for me, because we had a couple of new games coming out that they were trying to push in the store. There was War Machine, and there was another one that I can't remember the name of this game. I've been trying to remember the name of this game forever. It was you bought the models, and then you played on a grid. It was a big, like 1 by 1 grid, 1 foot by 1 foot grids on like a 8 grid piece of paper, and then you loaded your army into a computer. Like you loaded your UPCs or a code from the box into a computer, and then as you played, you would move the models, and then you'd go over to the laptop and move your models on the laptop, and then they would fight on the laptop, and it would let you know what happened in that fight, and they wanted you to remove the models from the board. So I remember that guy demoed that game, and here, I can zoom out now. So the guy demoed that game, and I played a game on the computer, or I played a game, and then I just went over the computer, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play another game. So I just put all the information into the computer, and I just moved the stuff on the computer, completely ignoring the models. And he's like, that's not how you do it. I'm like, what? I'm playing the game. He got kind of mad at me. I was like, what is the point of these models if I just do everything on the computer? Like it was an ARG style, except there was like the models had nothing to do with the game. They were just like a prop outside of the game. And once I pointed that out, I was like, I have no interest in your game. might buy it for a computer game, but I'm not going to pay 20. I think it was $20 at a time for a box of infantry to be a part of the game. And needless to say, that didn't stick around very long. So, let's see if I can do this without breaking anything. Oh, broken. So there we go. See, up close, up close they're a little rough, but way back here like this, how you would see them on a table, they look pretty darn good. And then after a wash, they're going to be even better. So there, hour and 49 minutes we've got up to this point. Ta-da! So now I'm going to do the bases on them. I still don't know what I'm going to do for the bases. Probably some kind of rubble on there, and then I'm going to be doing the wash, and then they're all set. And they're probably going to get sent out this weekend. So for whoever won this, you know who you are. I'm going to DM you for your address because I have no idea where they're going yet. Hopefully somewhere on this side of the world. I'll ship stuff to Australia if you win, but it kind of hurts. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for me tonight. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out with me while I painted these up. And ever tried scrap metal pieces? I don't know why that popped up, and I was like, using the support from STL. No, no, I've tried using those supports. I've even got some FDM supports in a box over here. I'm like, I swear I'm going to use them for trees. But yeah, so that's going to do it for me tonight, guys. Oh, before I go, what? What? 5, 4, 3. Oh, well, thank you, William, for sticking around and watching it. Thank you for spending your time. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm just doing this for fun, man. This is I used to paint stuff and play this hard back when I did 40K, way back in the day. Back when boxes were $20 instead of God, I don't even know what Space Marines cost nowadays. I'm afraid to look. But anyway, I'm out of here, guys. I'll talk to you all later. Have a good night. Bye bye.